Well, November is National Adoption Month, and there's a new book that offers advice for adoptive parents. Dr. Sue Cornbluth is the author of Building Self-Esteem in Children and Teens Who Are Adopted or Fostered. She's a nationally recognized expert in parenting and childhood trauma. She's also an adjunct professor of psychology at Temple. Dr. Sue joined us now live in studio this morning, and we've worked on Wednesday's Child for a couple years, so it's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's great.
There's a story in the introduction about a seminal event that happened to you as an 8-year-old that I think probably served as the backdrop for why you wrote this book. Tell us about it.
So when I was 8 years old, I was sitting on the steps of my parents' house, and they had a fight like a lot of parents do. And my mom ran out of the house for a couple hours, and I was sitting there and I was afraid that she was not going to return. And the panic that went through me was very scary. And she came back, and she's never left again. She's a great mom. Hi, Mom. But what I felt during that period of sitting there is what many children feel that grow up in foster care. And a lot of times their parents do not come back. Yeah. So that propelled me to work with foster kids and do my work in this area.
We'll talk about the foster kids in a second, but the parenting aspect, I'm fascinated by that, because this is as much about self-esteem for parents as it is for children.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you asked me that. The book is about empowering parents as well as children. If you do not have high self-esteem yourself, it's going to be a lot harder for you to help your kids build self-esteem within themselves.
So what are the strategies for parents and for children and these kids? You and I worked with Wednesday's Child
Yes.
for a number of years. They face so many obstacles.
So many.
What are some of the big ones that you see in the kids that you deal with?
Well, the biggest is that they do have low self-esteem, and they don't have very good resiliency, and they don't feel such a sense of belonging. So what I talk about in the book is that parents and professionals can create this within these children. And the tools are in this book. Look, when I entered the field in foster care in the late 90s, there was not a lot of options of places to turn to for help. That's why I wrote this book. I want professionals, I want parents that are fostering or adopting be able to turn to something and say, open to page 25, and here are some techniques on building resilience. But if I could say one more thing, I like to say that foster children and adopted children, they have been through so many circumstances that are not their fault. But that does not define everything about who they are.
One thing that you and I learned, and you've known this for a long time because you've studied this situation, is that these kids are often less resilient as they are to kids who have two-parent homes. They are so good, and they want so badly to have a home of their own. Dr. Sue Cornbluth, we appreciate so much that you're coming back. You look good.
Thanks, Vi.
Good to have you back here.
You too.
Well, what can parents do to help them? Well, it's all there in the book, Building Self-Esteem, Children and Teens. The book is out now. You can get it at your local bookstore, Barnes & Noble. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Sue.
Thanks, Vi.